Hey guys, so today, we're going to talk about a topic that commonly comes to me, which is I have a business idea. Where do I get started? Before we jump into that, if you like our content, make sure to subscribe below. Equally, if you have any questions or if you have any comments in terms of topics that you want to hear more about, make sure to comment below as well. Let's talk about where to start with your business. So, a lot of people come to me and us and, they say, I have a business idea. I don't know what to do. Where do I get started? So I'm going to try to answer that question as generally as humanly possible. Obviously, it's a little bit different based on the business, but generally speaking, it's usually the same principle, and it's a couple things. One, really do spend time on the analysis side of things. And really, there's a couple components to that. There's the market research, which I've talked about before, but then there's the numbers analysis too. You need to make sure that there's a big enough market for what you want, such that there's enough potential to get where you want to get to. And the thing about that is there's nuance there. It's a very personal decision, right? Some people are trying to build the next Facebook. Some people are okay with having, what's called a lifestyle business. I don't even like the term lifestyle business, to be honest with you, because I find it to be a little bit condescending and a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. They're commonly referred to lifestyle businesses as 7 to 8 figure businesses, which, doesn't sound so bad to me and usually to most people. So there's absolutely no shame in that in case you see that term. But I do think it is really important ahead of time to figure out what kind of business you're pointing to. If you only want something that's not going to eventually be able to sell for some kind of multiple, that's going to take a lot of your time, you're going to point your energy and attention in a different direction. Equally, if you do want something that's ginormous and that's going to be the next Facebook, you need to make sure that there's a market or the market potential there that can actually result in that. Otherwise, if that's what you're pushing towards, you could have found out before it even started that the potential for something like that doesn't even exist. Now, Facebook is a little bit of an anomaly and things like that because it's one of these cases where people didn't really even know that they wanted a Facebook before it started. Granted, they had a little bit of relevance with like MySpace coming before it, right? So some proof of concept that existed. But I think it's really important to be introspective about what you want out of your business and then do the analysis off of there. So the question is what does this analysis look like? Do market research. Figure out how many people are buying things like this currently, whether directly the same thing or adjacent to what you're doing, or how many people have interest in it, what the trends are. Are more people pointing in the direction of the kind of thing that you're doing? Then you could start to see how big this market is. And then your question is how are you going to attack it? And so you could build a plan in terms of how you're going to attack it. You can research comparables, they're called, which are companies that look like yours that are doing similar things, to see what you would expect given a certain action. So if you're trying to advertise on Facebook or Instagram, you can see what the average cost is to acquire a customer for a business just like yours. Therefore, you can figure out if I put this much money into it, this is probably how many customers I'm likely to get in, how much revenue I'm going to get in the short term with them, in the long term with them, and start to calculate whether this is going to be a viable business to stand up. The really big point at the end of the day is a lot of people pass over that analysis and introspection piece up front. Take the time to do it. It does not take too long, and it will save you a whole lot of time, effort, and then even if you wind up doing the idea, you will have an extremely clear picture of where to focus on in the business, which will make you a better CEO as well. Take that time.